Going on, guys? Welcome to Outside the Brand. This is your Monday Night Raw post show for July 3rd, 2023. I'm your host, Phil, and of course, this is Outside the Brand. Thank you so much for joining me right here on your Monday nights, wherever you may be. Monday Night Raw. I mean, what can I say at this point? Monday Night Raw. This was the Raw after Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank was absolutely one of the best pay-per-views that WWE has put on all year. Was it the best WWE pay-per-view that they have put on all year? No, I would still put Backlash and maybe WrestleMania Night 1 still in that kind of a category. But at the end of the day, Money in the Bank was an absolutely awesome show with great Money in the Bank ladder matches and an amazing Civil War tag team match with the Bloodline. Monday Night Raw was the start of the fallout to to Money in the Bank, where we saw Damian Priest, who is now Mr. Money in the Bank. What is he going to be doing with that briefcase? He was close to cashing it in tonight against a vulnerable Seth Rollins, but in the end, Finn Balor, who would emerge just randomly. I mean, we heard throughout the entire night that he was not there. Finn Balor would emerge almost out of nowhere and attack Seth freaking Rollins. And, it looked like he was trying to help Damian Priest in the process, but inadvertently, costed him the shot to cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase. And now, they're going at odds with each other. And that was, the way that we saw Monday Night Raw go off the air tonight. I understand what they're trying to do. We all know what they're trying to do. WWE is breaking up one of the members from the Judgment Day, and they are going to, whoever it is, whether that be Finn Balor or whether that be Damian Priest, they're going to be kicked out of the Judgment Day, and then they are going to be going on a singles run of their own. You guys know me. At this point in time, I would not even break up anybody from the Judgment Day. I would only add to the Judgment Day, and I would only add to their presence to make it even more stronger and make it even more special. Obviously, JD McDonough, who was called up to the main roster during the WWE draft a couple months back, is the perfect person to do that. And I think a lot of people understand that JD McDonough is the perfect person to do that because of his past with Finn Balor. Obviously he was a protege of Finn Balor. He was once trained under Finn Balor. We all know this, and we all know the history, and we all know the reasonings why JD McDonough being a part of the Judgment Day makes the most sense. That being said, what we are going to be doing here when it comes to the whole breaking up of the Judgment Day, breaking somebody away from the Judgment Day. It's not a full-on breakup, but we're just breaking somebody away from it. I understand why they're doing this, right? It gives them a whole new aspect to the group, and they swap people in and out because they did that with Edge when he was the leader, and then all of a sudden they kicked him out so that they can make Finn Balor the leader. Even though I really don't even consider Finn Balor as the leader of the Judgment Day in this current regime of the Judgment Day, so to speak. I still, and a lot of other people really do personally believe that it is Rhea Ripley that is the quote-unquote leader of the Judgment Day, even though when they said that this new, regime of it was not like any type of leadership or anything like that, they're all equal. At the end of the day, we all understand what they're trying to do when it comes to the Judgment Day, and that is why we are seeing the rift and the dissension between Finn Balor and Damian Priest. So that happened tonight on Monday Night Raw, and that was going on throughout the entire show. Finn Balor was not there basically the entire show up until the point during the main event, and that is what happened during the show so far at that point in time. Then another big thing on this Monday Night Raw, or what they were really trying to preview and hype things up for, was this Women's World Championship match between Rhea Ripley and Natalya. You guys know me. You guys know my feelings on Natalya. I respect what she has done in this business, but she is definitely not the most interesting character anymore within the company. She's just uninteresting to me at this point in her career. I thought she was going to get nattied. I thought she was going to just get like somewhat of a 3-minute match and then call it a day. But no. And it doesn't pain me to say this because it's Rhea Ripley, and Rhea Ripley is one of the best workers that they got on that roster from Monday Night Raw. But they were honestly one of the best. They were honestly one of the best parts of the show tonight. Natalya and Rhea Ripley did incredibly well with the time that they were given for the Women's World Championship match on Monday Night Raw. It was very shocking, to say the least, that I didn't expect. I did not expect what we got tonight between Rhea Ripley and Natalya. Rhea Ripley, I mean, like I said earlier, she's one of the best women that they got going. She's obviously the Women's World Champion for a reason. She won that championship at WrestleMania, and we all know the big deal when it comes to Rhea Ripley. Natalya, she gets a lot of hate. We all know she gets a lot of hate when it comes to WWE Universe and comes to the fan base of the WWE. Is it warranted? That could be up for debate. That's up for interpretation, and we all know that depending on wherever your side of the spectrum you're on, it just really depends on what kind of Natalya fan you are. They were easily one of the best parts of the entire night tonight, by far. Easily. And another one of the best parts about the show tonight, and honestly my favorite part of the show tonight, was Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler had a star-making performance tonight on Monday Night Raw. Not as an in-ring competitor. Not as, an in-ring aspect type of a feel. Shayna Baszler took it to Ronda Rousey tonight on the microphone in one of the best promos that I have ever seen Shayna Baszler do. Point blank, period. You can print that on a t-shirt if you wanted to. It was easily the best I have seen Shayna Baszler do on the mic since being on the main roster within the WWE. We all know Shayna Baszler is great. We all know that Shayna Baszler, during her days back in Black and Gold, back in NXT, Shayna Baszler was easily on the trajectory to being one of the greatest women that WWE has on that roster, point blank, period. She was one of the most dominating superstars in all of that roster back in NXT Black and Gold. She was easily one of the most dominating NXT Women's Champions of that era at that time. And since being on the main roster and everything like that, WWE doesn't really give her the opportunity or to show that. But up until this point, this point right here, this promo, this whole segment between her and Ronda Rousey tonight really proved, and I hope the WWE backstage people were listening, Shayna Baszler could still be that superstar that we all know that she can be. She definitely can be, and we all know that, and we all have been trying to tell WWE that, but WWE, Vince McMahon, personally, listen, I don't care what anybody says. If you guys still don't think that Vince McMahon is still having some sort of, portion of this show, you guys are absolutely crazy. But Vince McMahon took a look at Shayna Baszler, took a look at her age, and took a look at her looks, because let's be real, at the end of the day, that's what Vince was all about at one point. She took a look at your age and took a look at your looks, and Vince didn't see anything in Shayna Baszler. Vince did not see a single thing in Shayna Baszler. He brought him up. She brought her up to the main roster rather, and at the beginning, it was looking pretty good. She won the Elimination Chamber. She was going up against she was going to WrestleMania to go for the women's championship at the time. Becky wanted to put her over. That did not happen. And, it was what it was. But now, this is the point in time where Shayna Baszler can really capitalize on this opportunity that obviously Vince did not see within her. Triple H does. And she can capitalize on this shit and really make this special. Really make this special, because at the end of the day, whether this is the ending of the angle between Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey, if Ronda Rousey is still rumored to be going back to the Octagon, because that is what all of this is about, if Ronda Rousey is really trying to say, hey, listen, you brought me into this business, you brought me into this company, I am going to put you over, this is going to be the best thing that honestly both of them have probably done within their career. And that is probably something, that's probably a big thing, to even say. But at the end of the day, I think that is kind of what's going to be happening here. And Lexi asking me, do you really think that Ronda will push Shayna over? I do. And Ronda Rousey, what Shayna Baszler said in that promo tonight on Monday Night Raw was nothing but facts. Nothing but facts. Shayna Baszler brought Ronda Rousey into WWE. Shayna Baszler showed the world of WWE to Ronda Rousey. When Ronda Rousey left UFC and when Ronda Rousey retired from the Octagon to join the WWE, to join the world of professional wrestling, Shayna Baszler was that person to get her into the business. Obviously, Natalya was a part of that, and she, was training her upon her in-ring debut when she did make her debut within the company, going right up to WrestleMania and all that kind of stuff. But Shayna Baszler was the reason why Ronda is where she is today. Now, do I think she should put her over? 100%. I think she should put her over. And do I think she will? Yes, because that is ultimately the best thing to do for somebody like a Shayna Baszler who brought you up into this business. Now, obviously the match is happening at SummerSlam. I think that is where this is all heading. And if this is where it's all heading, you put Shayna over at SummerSlam and you really make her that dominant killer. Back when she was in black and gold, back when she was in NXT, you make that happen. The fans can get behind Shayna Baszler. They were behind Shayna Baszler in London when she attacked Ronda during the Women's Tag Team Championship match. She was getting behind. The fans were getting behind her tonight when Shayna was saying the entire promo back and forth with Ronda Rousey, and I was very hesitant going into this. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I was very, very hesitant going into this, saying, who does WWE want to be the babyface, and who does WWE want to be the heel? Obviously, London was cheering Shayna Baszler when she attacked Ronda at Money in the Bank during the Women's Tag Team title match. But, WWE. WWE, in some instances, would have taken the attack as a heel maneuver, and the attackee that being Ronda Rousey would be the baby face in this situation, even though I don't think anybody would even have the right mind to even cheer for somebody like a Ronda Rousey. They did the flip. They had the attacker be the baby face here and the attackee be the heel in this situation because they know that nobody is going to be wanting to cheer Ronda Rousey. And I think that was the absolute best decision that they could have ever made. And obviously that promo tonight by Shayna Baszler was a babyface type promo. I mean, she was legitimately speaking the words of the WWE Universe to Ronda Rousey, and it worked to perfection. So, Lexi, to finally answer your question, for basically a third time, but to really hone it down on it real quick, do I think Ronda Rousey will push Shayna Baszler over? Yes. And it's not because she wants to. It's honestly because she has to, because that is what you do when somebody brings you into the business. So that was awesome. It was honestly the best part of the night for me when it comes to the star making performances that we are all trying to get back into when it comes to WWE. So those are really the three main points of the show tonight. Obviously the Damian Priest Finn Balor kind of thing, with Seth Rollins looming in the background as the World Heavyweight Champion. The Shayna Baszler Ronda Rousey stuff, that was again absolutely fantastic, and the Women's World Championship match that turned out to be so much better than I originally anticipated. So, guys, we're going to be talking about all of the things that happened on Monday Night Raw tonight. I hope you guys enjoy what you have heard so far. If you guys did, make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are not subscribed already. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. The last time I checked, guys, we were at 750. We need 250 more to reach that 1,000 milestone. We are 9 episodes away from episode 400 of the podcast. Already, we are almost at episode 400 of the podcast. And I could not thank you guys enough for all the love and support that you guys have been giving this channel. You guys know that we started this channel back when the beginning of fans coming back. That Friday Night SmackDown, that Friday Night SmackDown where fans came back, that was the whole start of this show. That was the start of this podcast. That's where we, that's where this channel was born. On that faithful Friday night, that SmackDown, where fans came back. And now we're all the way here. We are all the way here in the year 2023 on July 3rd. The 4th of July is tomorrow. And, we're honestly almost at episode 400. That is insane to me. It's absolutely insane. And this channel has grown so much since, those days of old. I look back at some of the old stuff that we used to do here on OTB, and I cringe every time because I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. I had no idea what I was doing. And at the end of the day, you see the growth of the channel throughout these 391 episodes. This is the 391st episode now. And it's crazy to even think about it, but, we have grown. We have grown. I have made some amazing friendships doing this podcast. I've made amazing friendships doing this whole thing when it comes to TikTok and all that kind of stuff when it comes to the podcast and all that. If it wasn't for Loft, Megan, Saul, Once, Bash, Nate, and all basically anybody else that has been associated with this podcast when it comes to either being guests or just being friends of the show, we wouldn't be here right now. If it wasn't for Relic, you wouldn't be seeing this background right now. and the video intro that you saw at the beginning of the show. If it wasn't for Relic, you wouldn't see the beautiful artwork that you see here. So I want to thank Relic for all that kind of a thing right there, first of all, because that, if it wasn't for him, none of this would have been possible, and that's fantastic in its own right. So thank you, Relic, for that, and thank you all for all the love and support. Um, so oh yeah. So yeah, at the end of the day, I appreciate you guys. I'm looking at the chat right now. TJ's answering one of Lexi's questions, and Lexi, you ask, I actually didn't watch Natty and Rhea yet. Was it a good match? It was actually surprisingly good. It was surprisingly good. It was definitely better than what I anticipated it was going to be. So, if you are going to go back and watch it, I actually urge you to go back and watch it, because it's probably one of the it was definitely one of the best matches on the night tonight, and honestly, it was probably one of the best, segments of the entire show. Um so um that's awesome. Awesome stuff. So yeah. Let's get right into Monday Night Raw, guys. Um Hold on one second. Okay. I was just answering somebody back. So let's get into Monday Night Raw, guys. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support. Follow me on social media if you haven't already. You guys can follow me on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram at @PhillyMount_. I will be making my return to TikTok sometime later on this month. So be prepared, on the lookout for that. Uh, it's been a long time coming. It's been Oh, hi, Maddie. Maddie is Lexi. Okay. Okay, cool. All right. Well, there we go. So I'll be making my return to TikTok as soon as I can. It's been a long time coming. I know I'll be back very, very soon when it comes down to that. I'm probably making you know, fuck it. I honestly might make my return tomorrow. At the end of the day, it's been a long time since uh since I took my break and everything like that. I took my break in the middle of last month, and it's been a long time coming. I might make my fucking return tomorrow. I'll figure it out. But at the end of the day, I will be making my return this month, because it's goddamn SummerSlam, man. It's SummerSlam. It's one of the best pay-per-views of the entire year. It's obviously one of the biggest shows that WWE does throughout the entire year, and it's going to be one of the most anticipated SummerSlams in quite some time. So I'm obviously going to want to cover that for TikTok and all that kind of a stuff. So thank you for all the love and support, and you know, for allowing me to take the break that I needed, because holy shit, I needed that break. But we'll get into that. Follow everybody that is associated with OTB down there in the description below. When it comes to all their TikToks are down there in the description below. And it's always great to have those guys on the podcast whenever they can come on. Then you guys can go down into the links in the description as well for the merchandise. The Teespring stores are the official stores of the OTB merchandise. So you guys can go down there and get anything that you want from the official OTB merch store over there at Teespring. You guys can also find mine and Loft's Teespring store for merchandise down there in the description below. And if you guys are going to be getting anything from WWE Shop, you guys can also go down there for the affiliate link for WWEshop.com. Now, is my personal affiliation link, but if you guys do anything when it comes to the affiliate link and get something, anything that you guys get and the commission that I get for that will be going back directly to the channel. That way, you guys can get the best episodes of OTB whenever I do put them out. So, guys, I know It's been a long time. Okay. Thank you guys for all the love and support. And we'll get right into Monday Night Raw. Finally. You know what? Screw it. Finally, before we do, and this will be the final thing before we get into the actual show tonight. Thank you for our sponsor, SeatGeek. SeatGeek is an application you can get on your phone. You guys know you're getting the best deal using SeatGeek, and you guys can get even a better deal by using the code OTB at checkout for $20 off your first purchase using SeatGeek. The green dots on the application mean that it's a good deal, and the red dots means that it's a bad deal. But you always want to go for the green, and when you use the code OTB, like I said earlier, you get the $20 off your first purchase using SeatGeek, and it's honestly a win-win in that scenario. You get to go to your favorite wrestling event or concert or whatever, and you're helping the channel out when you use the code OTB. So thank you to our sponsor, SeatGeek. We love being a part of your family. Thank you for being a part of ours. And finally, guys, we can get into Monday Night Raw, the post show, right here on OTB. I told you guys I already had a lot of stuff to talk about tonight, all right? So thank you guys for, allowing me to do that. But now we can get right into the show. We started off Monday Night Raw with Seth freaking Rollins. And we go to the arena. The World Heavyweight Champion is making his way down to the ring. And the fans are singing his song. I don't know about you guys, but man, these fans could just sing it all night long. Dude, I get it. This song is great. I love the song. The song is absolutely fantastic. It is absolutely one of the best parts of the entire show. When you're there, the atmosphere, and you sing the song, it's awesome. But man, sometimes they just sing it for too long. They sing it for too long. We got to get the show going. He's got to do his promo. He's got to do this. We got to do that. I love it. But man, they were singing for like a good 4 or 5 minutes tonight. Let's get it going. Come on now. But Seth stands there in the middle of the ring. He just lets the fans continue to sing his song. And he welcomes everybody to the show and begins to talk about Money in the Bank. He mentions Jay pinning Roman for the first time in 3.5 years, which is still mind-blowing to me. I watched back the match tonight. I did. I watched back the match tonight before Monday Night Raw because I still can't believe that had happened. Does it kind of damper Cody's story a little bit, considering that, we all thought Cody was going to be the one to beat Roman in the end, or pin Roman in the end? I'm not going to say it dampers the entire story, but him being undefeated was really a big part of the story. And I thought, Cody being the one to end the undefeated streak of the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns was going to be the biggest part of the story. Not only that, but winning the championship. So he gave it to his cousin. He gave it to a family member. He gave it to Jey Uso. I understand why they did it. It makes the most sense for Jey Uso to do it, and he will face Roman at SummerSlam for the Undisputed Universal Championship. But I don't know. I can't really blame people if people say that it kind of dampers the story a little bit, knowing that it was going to be Cody. It should have been Cody. But it was an awesome match. Nobody should be able to take that away from anybody when it comes to that match. And it was awesome. Awesome stuff right there. So he talked about that. He talked about Io Sky and Damian Priest winning Money in the Bank. And Rollins mentions Damian Priest when he said that as well. So he said, and at the end of the day, by the skin of his teeth, he beat Finn Balor to retain his World Heavyweight Championship. Seth then talks about SummerSlam and what his task is going to be at SummerSlam. Who is going to be the one to face Finn Balor for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship at SummerSlam? Cody's music hit. Cody Rhodes comes out. The whole, whoa! know the deal, right? Him doing the whoa, the crowd doing the whoa, the crowd singing the song of Kingdom. I was very confused. I was very confused because, you know, if you guys watched the press conference for Money in the Bank, one of the reporters asked if winning the World's Heavyweight Championship would mean that he finished the story. And I took that question, to heart when he asked that, because to me, the answer is no. That's not finishing the story. It's not finishing the story at all. The story is the WWE Championship. The story is what Roman is holding. The story is the WWE Championship that Dusty had but was taken away from him. That's the story. Now, Cody Rhodes said point blank that it wasn't. Nothing against the World Heavyweight Championship, nothing against Seth Rollins, but at the end of the day, that's not the championship that he wants. It's the WWE Championship. So, when Cody Rhodes came out, I was like, Cody, my guy, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're kind of contradicting yourself, knowing what you said at the Money in the Bank press conference on Saturday, and now you're kind of making yourself looking like a hypocrite here. Cody's music hits, the whoa happens, and, he's wearing his wrestling gear to a big ovation from the crowd. So, Cody gets into the ring, both men are face to face, and Cody looks at Seth, and then all of a sudden, Brock's music hits. Brock Lesnar is here on Monday Night Raw. His music hits. Cody turns around. He takes his jacket off and he runs to Brock Lesnar. We all know that Cody's been wanting Brock. He called out Brock. And, he's been wanting Brock for quite some time now. So he runs to Brock. Both men are fighting it up the ramp. Lesnar with knees to the face and throws Cody back into the ring. Seth is gone at this point. And, Lesnar gets into the ring. He goes for an F5, but Cody lands on his feet and he hits Lesnar with the Cody Cutter. He hit him with the Cody Cutter, and Lesnar rolls out of the ring and he retreats as Cody's music plays on the PA system. And, Cody looks like he's just standing tall in the middle of the ring right there against a vulnerable Brock Lesnar. So, when Brock came out, I'm like, got it. That's what we were all setting up for. This basically all but confirms that we are going to be getting Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar, the third match at SummerSlam. And there you go. We all knew it was going to be happening. This feud has gone on for far too long, At the end of the day, this feud has been going on for far too long, but hopefully Hopefully this feud ends at SummerSlam and we can move on with our lives. Please, for the love of God. Listen. I understand. Cody's my guy. You guys all know this. TJ. Maddie. Listen. You guys know this. Cody's my guy. He's my guy here, but we need to get this out of here. We need to get this feud out of here. We need to get Cody back into something special. We need to get Cody back on track. That's what it ultimately means. So hopefully, SummerSlam is the end of this thing, and we can get back on track when it comes to Cody getting back to that World Championship. Because we all know that is what's really ultimately going to be happening. Cody Rhodes World Championship needs to happen. So let's get it going. So, Rollins gets back into the ring after a commercial break, and he laughs, and he's like, what a crazy way to start off Monday Night Raw, right? But let's get back to business. he is very much looking forward to be seeing what he's going to be doing at SummerSlam, and then all of a sudden, the Judgment Day's music hits, and I'm like, okay. And then Corey Graves says Rollins just can't even catch a break. So out comes Damian Priest, Dominik Mysterio, and Rhea Ripley. Without Finn Balor at this point. Finn Balor was not there at the show. Rhea says that that's enough about Seth. They all know that everyone is here to see the Judgment Day take over. And Seth says, everyone? Everyone? You don't even have everyone in your group right now. Where is my guy Finn Balor? Rhea says Finn is fine and he is not here tonight, but that's not Seth's concern. Priest tells Seth to mind his own business because at the end of the day, that is Judgment Day's business. What he should be concerned about is this, and he holds up the Money in the Bank briefcase and points to it. Priest says that he knows, that Seth knows how this works. If he decides to cash in on Seth Rollins' World Heavyweight Championship, it could be at SummerSlam, it could be at Survivor Series, it could be at the Rumble, or hell, it could even happen tonight on Monday Night Raw. Maybe after he is done beating Seth Rollins, he will go from being Senor Money in the Bank to... I can't speak Spanish, but it says El Campeón Mundial. Again, can't speak Spanish. You know, tried to learn it all 4 years of high school. Did not mean shit. But at the end of the day, he just means he could go from Mr. Money in the Bank to the champion. Or to the world champion. At least I think that's what it translates to. Again, I don't know Spanish. Cut me a break. But Seth says that sounds all well and good, but the problem is that he has to have a champion down and out, beaten to a pulp. He doesn't have that right now because he doesn't have a match on the card tonight, and Seth says he is fresh as a daisy and he just wants to go party out in Baltimore. Priest tells him that before everyone starts playing his song, playing his song and singing along to his song, he will make sure that Seth is useless. He says that Seth is someone who likes to fight, so maybe, just maybe, you could be facing any one of us tonight. He looks at Rhea Ripley first, and Rhea Ripley said that, listen, I already have my matchup on the card tonight as I will be facing Natalya for the Women's World Championship. I'll have to defend my title. But as for Dominik, he'd love to fight. He'd love to do it, you know? And Dominik begins to speak, but the fans loudly boo. And Rhea says that Dominik wants to fight Seth Rollins tonight. Seth says, as somebody who knows all about Money in the Bank, this sounds like a trap, but he would love nothing more than to slap the mustache off of Dominik's little face tonight. And, the fans, they decide to cheer. They decide to sing along to Seth Rollins' song. And that is how that segment went off the air tonight. This was a very good first segment of Monday Night Raw tonight. I love the way that it all transpired. Really the second half of the first segment, I should say, when it comes to the whole Judgment Day and Seth Rollins part of the thing. Cody Rhodes and Brock, I mean, that was okay. You could have done that in a way better type of a way. You could have done that like in a backstage segment. You could have done something when it comes to if Cody Rhodes is going to be speaking to the backstage interview backstage, you could have Brock attack him there in the backstage area. You could have done something like that, but they decided to do it here instead before the whole Judgment Day came out, and it came off well, but could have been done a little bit better or could have been done in a little bit different way, sure. But hindsight's 2020, and you gotta do what you gotta do at that point in time. So, um, we didn't come back from commercial break, and we start with our first matchup of the night, and that is Damian Priest versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke Nakamura was obviously a part of the Money in the Bank ladder match along with Damian Priest, so they were doing something when it comes to that. Good match. Good match between Damian Priest and Shinsuke Nakamura. I really don't expect anything less when it comes to these two. So if you guys really thought that they could have possibly shit the bed, of course they didn't. But this was awesome. This was a good way to get Damian Priest to win as Mr. Money in the Bank. And as we all know, during the course of uh, you know, times when somebody is Mr. Money in the Bank or Mrs. Money in the Bank for that matter, I should say. They love to have Mr. and Mrs. Money in the Bank lose. For whatever reason. They love to have Mr. and Mrs. Money in the Bank lose because at the end of the day, they're still technically number one collectively. But I personally don't like that. I don't like that mainly because of the fact that at the end of the day, just because you're still technically the number one contender because you hold the briefcase doesn't mean you can't have wins under your belt. So I'm glad they ultimately didn't do that tonight. I'm glad Damian Priest won this matchup tonight against us. I was going to say Seth Rollins against Shinsuke Nakamura because that's what ultimately is the goal here in the end. So, Damian Priest picked up the win over Shinsuke Nakamura tonight, and it was a good match. A very, very good match to kick off Monday Night Raw tonight. So, Rhea argues with Kevin Patrick on the outside for commentary purposes and saying that it was a 3 count at one point in time. Back into the ring we go as Priest goes for the Razor's Edge, but Nakamura reverses that into a cover, and Priest kicks out at the count of 2. Nakamura then with a kick to the head, he goes for a cover, but Priest kicks out one more time at the count of 2. Nakamura then climbs to the second rope, goes for the Kinshasa from the second rope, but Priest gets onto his feet. Nakamura hits him with the flying kick once and for all, and Nakamura goes for the Kinshasa, but Priest dunks it, and Nakamura, and he gets Nakamura to his feet. He gets clotheslined, which turns him inside out, and he does hit a South of Heaven chokeslam for the win, and that is how Damian Priest picked up the win tonight. The Judgment Day then celebrate with Priest lifting up the Money in the Bank briefcase in the middle of the ring. So, like I said, good first matchup here on Monday Night Raw. That was about the first 45 minutes of the entire show tonight, which, is awesome to, because anything that honestly makes this show shorter in time length, in some aspects, I should say, because regardless, it's going to be a 3-hour show. But the fact that we had our first match, well, the first promo and the first match really took up 45 minutes of the show. Thank you. Thank you. So we're back from commercial break, and we see some clips of the Women's Tag Team Championship match at Money in the Bank. And Ronda Rousey's music hits, and she comes out to the ring to speak. And like I said, this is easily my best part of the night tonight. If you guys did not see this, seriously, I implore you guys to go check this out. I implore you guys to go check out the Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler segment, because Shayna Baszler fucking killed it, like I said earlier, and Ronda Rousey, while she sucks on the mic, she honestly didn't even do that bad here. And, it was believable on both ends of the spectrum. It was believable on Ronda's side why she was so upset that Shayna Baszler did what she did. And Shayna Baszler is obviously a believable force as it is, talking on the mic and really making it seem like, you know, that she was the reason why Ronda's here all along in the first place. Really, really translated well on television. So, like I said, I implore you guys to go check this out. But Ronda's music hits, she comes out, and she is ready to speak. Shayna Baszler's music hits automatically, and she comes to the ring. Shayna says that she is confident when she says that she speaks for everyone when she says that they are tired of hearing Ronda speak uh, on a microphone. Ronda tells Shayna that she owes her an explanation. You can at least give me that when it comes to the reason why you attacked me in the first place. Shayna then calls Ronda narcissistic and says that she is the only reason why Ronda is standing in a WWE ring, in a WWE ring right now. She owes her nothing but an apology to everybody else within the WWE Universe for even bringing Ronda Rousey into the business in the first place. Rousey tells her that she could have spoken about any of this beforehand in private instead of just, going out there and costing them the tag team titles that they have worked so hard for. And then Shayna stops her right there saying, they've worked so hard for. You don't know what you're talking about at this point. I don't see you trying to set up wrestling rings. I don't see you trying to wrestle in front of 30 people, maybe just to get by in this business. Shayna says that she has paid her dues to get here. Ronda just waltzed right into WrestleMania. And I'm like, Shayna, you're freaking killing it at this point, girl. Like, everything that you're saying is 100% legitimate and true and realistic, and it makes all the sense in the world. So this was perfect. This was absolutely perfect. Shayna says that she loves this, believe it or not, and Ronda has ruined this for her. Shayna says that she owes her the hard dose of reality that there is someone here, and that is her, that can finally shut you up. And Shayna throws the microphone away. She stands on the ring apron. Ronda goes in to try to kick her, but Shayna turns that around into a clothesline. Ronda then throws Shayna back, and she tries to go for a Kirifuda clutch on Shayna Baszler, but Shayna flipped it, and Ronda goes for something else, but Shayna hits her hits her face with a knee. Shayna did one of the hardest knees that you will ever see someone do to Ronda Rousey's face. It legitimately looked like she knocked her the fuck out. I am not even lying. It legitimately looked like she knocked Ronda the hell out with that knee. And it was beautiful. It was beautiful. So that was awesome. And when Ronda came to, and Shayna was walking to the back, and Shayna was just walking away from the situation, Ronda saying, Shayna, get the hell back here. We are not done with this. Get the hell back out here. We are not done. I am not done with you. We gotta figure this out. And that was it. That was the end of the segment. Awesome. Awesome stuff between Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey. I can't even believe I'm actually complimenting Ronda Rousey right now. Because you know me, when it comes to Ronda Rousey, I really can't stand Ronda Rousey, but this was actually very, very good. If they legitimately had Ronda Rousey do stuff like this the majority of her time within WWE, I probably would have been a big fan of Ronda, and I probably would have been a big fan of Ronda a long ass time ago. when it came to her WWE, career. But they decided to do this now. They decided to do this basically on the final angle of her WWE contract because of her hard out. And, if she is going to be putting Shayna over, you're not going to get a complaint out of me. You're not going to get a complaint out of me. So that was awesome. And I can't wait to see what they do from here on out. We got I think 4 weeks left into the show, so let's get it going. 4 more Raws and I think 4 more SmackDowns until we get to Money in the I was gonna say Money in the Bank until we get to SummerSlam because I think it's August 5th that SummerSlam is at, so we'll see where things go from there. We cut backstage to Maxine Dupree having Otis in a headlock. So, not gonna lie, Otis is a very lucky man. Gable blows the whistle and says that, I think we're all in great shape for tonight for our 6-person mixed tag team match. And he asked if she was ready, she being Maxine Dupree, if she's ready for her first match. And she says that she is more than ready because of Gable's fantastic tutoring skills when it comes to the training. And not only that, but she is tired of being underestimated by the Viking Raiders and Valhalla. She's tired of them underestimating Gable's teaching skills. And, at the end of the day, they are going to win this mixed person tag team match. So Gable says that he is a 5-star man, he is a 5-star coach, and a 5-star Olympian. And tonight they are going to slap the Viking Raiders in the face. And then they did the whole "oh, thank you" bit. Then Samantha Irvin is in the middle of the ring, and she introduces the women's tag team champions Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan. We come back from commercial break, and we have this number 1 contenders tag team turmoil match. Now, this is for the number 1 contendership for the women's tag team championships. And we had Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green versus Emma and Nikki Cross versus Kayden Carter and Katana Chance versus Indi Hartwell and Candice LeRae versus Dana Brooke and Tegan Knox. We had a wild Tegan Knox appearance and a wild Emma appearance. Indi Hartwell is officially returning to the ring, so that's awesome for her. We all know that she was injured, and that's why she wasn't really in the ring, but now she's back, and she's in this tag team with Candice LeRae again. So the way is back when it comes to the female side of things. So could we possibly be getting DIY back as well, knowing that Tommaso Ciampa's back and we can get Johnny Gargano back as well, so we can get DIY back together? Who knows? Who knows? But that is what we have right here at the moment. And Candice is back with Indi Hartwell. Or Indi is back with Candice. I should say it that way, considering Indi was the one to return tonight on Monday Night Raw. So this wasn't bad by any means. This match is just short as hell. Because I'm sorry to say this, and I know there's a lot of fans when it comes to women's wrestling in here. Maddie, TJ, and basically anybody else that's in this chat. This match was short because WWE is just not really caring about women's wrestling right now. And it sucks because, come on, these women's tag team titles, they don't really mean anything. If you guys know me, and you guys know me well, you guys know that at the end of the day, I wasn't even really for women's tag team championships to be here in the first place. I would have much preferred a singles women's championship within the company. If you wanted to get something to float between both brands, you could have had a singles women intercontinental championship or whatever you want to call it, and give the other women something else to fight for instead of being the world champion. Because let's face it, not everybody is world champion material, but if you gave them a singles mid-card championship for the women, it would have been something better instead of just mixing these random ass tag teams together and calling it a day. We had 3 women's tag teams in this match. 3. And honestly, they're the only 3 within the division on Monday Night Raw. Now, yes, like I said, in previous podcasts or in other avenues, when it comes to the Raw, SmackDown, and NXT Women's Tag Team Division, there could be a lot, but it depends on how WWE uses them. And WWE just simply doesn't care. It's not that the women don't have anything. It's not that the women don't have the skills or the ability to get something going for themselves. It's WWE. It's the management. It's the process and the product of what WWE is trying to do with their women's division. This entire tag team turmoil is the perfect explanation and the quintessential reason of what is wrong with the women's division within WWE. And it sucks to even say that because we all know that the women could do something within this company. It's just that they just don't give enough time. And that's what sucks about it all. But, we had these five tag teams in this tag team turmoil match. Wasn't bad by any means, but it was short. So Chelsea Greene, she gets thrown out of the ring. LeRae goes for a springboard moonsault but misses, and Chelsea gets tagged in, and LeRae gets hit with a flying knee by Sonya Deville, and then Chelsea goes for the cover and gets the win to advance further into the tag team turmoil match. Then we had Indi and Candice get into the mix, and this wasn't all that, this wasn't all that long either. Emma, she wants to go for the tag to Nikki Cross, but Nikki Cross is basically on the outside crying because, oh wait, no, I missed an entire elimination, guys. I'm sorry. So, no wait, no, yeah, no, I'm right. So Emma wanted to go for a tag on tag to Nikki Cross, but basically Nikki Cross is on the ramp crying because of her quote unquote friend in Candice LeRae apparently got hurt in the match she was selling, but she got hurt because she got kneed in the face. So she was basically crying because LeRae got hurt and was eliminated. Sonya is tagged in, and Greene hits Emma with an unpretty her. And Sonya hits her with the flying knee once again, and she goes for the cover, and that was it. So Emma and Nikki Cross were eliminated from the tag team turmoil match. Then we have Tegan Nox and Dana Brooke get into the mix here. That was the next tag team involved in this. And this was probably the shortest match of the entire part of the tag team turmoil. So Tegan Nox and Dana Brooke, they're now in the ring, and Nox his right hands and uppercuts, and Dana Brooke tags in. And they do a double team move onto Chelsea, and Chelsea falls to the outside of the ring. Dana and Knox hit Sonya and Chelsea with double baseball slides. And we come back from commercial break, and we see uh, we come back from commercial break, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, they got eliminated during commercial break. I was so confused because when we came back from commercial break, we saw Kayden Carter and Katana Chance get into the ring for their portion of the match. Dana Brooke and Tegan Knox got eliminated during commercial break. I mean, come on. Come on. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Why? See, this is why I don't ask questions anymore when it comes to this company, because they eliminated two people that we legitimately never see on television. Emma, we never see on television. Ever. Ever. And Nikki Cross, she comes up here every once in a while, every once in a blue moon, she's here. And then get eliminated during a commercial break. And yes, LeBron, they were doing more picture in pictures, which is something new, I guess. I mean, they've always done picture in picture, but, not as much as we saw tonight. Yes, it was a picture in picture commercial break that they got eliminated in, but nobody watches the picture in picture. Nobody watches the picture in picture breaks. Even during commercial breaks in itself, nobody watches them. So when you eliminate a team during the commercial break, you're just leaving fans out there to just not give a shit about the match. So, like, the fact that you eliminated somebody from commercial break, that's a problem to me. But, um, but they were eliminated at that point in time, Tegan and Dana Brooke, and we come back from commercial break to see them get eliminated. You know, we just heard the announcer say that Tegan Knox and Dana Brooke were eliminated, and then we get Kayden Carter and Katana Chance in for their portion of the match. And this was easily the best part of the entire match because Sonya and Chelsea know how to wrestle, and so do Kayden and the Katana. So Chelsea climbs to the top rope and hits Greene. No, Chance climbs to the top rope and hits Greene with a Hurricane Rana off the top. Looked absolutely insane. We saw Raquel and Liv, who were basically out there the entire match, just sitting in chairs, marking out for the Hurricane Rana spot off the top rope. It was fantastic. So she goes to the cover after that Hurricane Rana, and it gets broken up by Sonya Deville. So Chanson gets to the top rope. Sonya then knocks her off the top and gets her back to the outside of the ring. Carter then knocks Sonya down off the ring apron, and Greene hits Carter with the Unpretty Her, and she goes for the cover 1, 2, 3, and that was it. So again, Chelsea and Sonya Deville move on, but then again, I just realized because somebody was eliminated during a commercial break. That was it. That was it. They won. Chelsea and Sonya are the winners of this number one contenders tag team turmoil match for the tag team titles, and now they are the number one contenders for Raquel and Liv. So there you go. It was decent enough, but the tag team division, or quote unquote tag team division for the women, is a mess. It's a mess. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. I want you guys to hear me out on that. I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. I really don't. I like women's wrestling. I want women's wrestling to succeed. I want all these women to succeed. But this women's division is a mess when it comes to the tag team championship division. I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from with that. I know if this is like really your first time listening to the show, you guys might hear some stuff that, could be a little harsh, but I don't mean it in a disrespectful way. I just want these shows to be better. And I feel like that's what a lot of people sometimes misconstrued when it comes to this show. I want all good things when it comes to women's professional wrestling, or just professional wrestling in general, because I love professional wrestling. But I want things to be good for everybody involved. I don't want it to just be good for the men's division. I don't want it to just be good for the women's division. I don't want things to just be good for WWE, and I don't want things to be just good for AEW. I want all wrestling to succeed. And I know there's a lot more other wrestling promotions than just AEW and WWE. I get that. I watch everything that I can when I can. But I'm telling you right now, man, the women's division when it comes to WWE is a mess. And I don't think really anybody can argue with me on that logic, but it's just all over the place. And I try my best. I try my best to really stay positive when it comes to it, but WWE is simply doesn't, it just doesn't care. And I really hope that they do somehow find a way to care at some point down the line. So, yeah. We come back from commercial break and we see a video package for Bronson Reed. And then we come back to Becky Lynch. Now strap in, because this... What was this? I legitimately want to ask everybody here in this chat. If everybody is here in this chat, and if everybody has the ability to type, what was this? What did we witness between Trish Stratus and Becky Lynch and Zoe Stark tonight? Please, just please tell me that I was not the only person that found this incredibly bad. Incredibly bad. And honestly, I'm putting it lightly when I say incredibly bad. Please tell me I'm not the only one that thought about that. Please. Alright, well, LeBron fan. He has the right idea. I probably wouldn't have said it in a little bit of a more obnoxious way, but yes, she is definitely getting progressively worse on the microphone. But listen, at the end of the day, I'm hopeful that this match could just end at SummerSlam and we could just get on with our lives. But Becky's music hits, and she comes out to the ring. She comes out to the ring, and Lynch starts off by saying that she did not win Money in the Bank. Thank God. But she can move on from that. However, what she cannot move on from is the thorn in her side, and that is Trish Stratus. Lynch says that She can't she can't think of a better time or place to end it all than right here, right now in Baltimore. So Trish, get your ass out here to the ring. We're ending this now. Trish's music hits, and she comes out there wearing a protective face mask, and Zoe Stark is by her side. Trish tells them that even in the mask, she is prettier than basically everybody in this arena, and that they need a mask to hide their ugliness. I am not lying to you guys. She legitimately said this. You need a mask to hide your ugliness. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you, Trish. Thank you, Trish. For having one of the worst lines ever in modern day professional wrestling. Oh, but trust me, guys, it gets worse. Because then, she said that she would love to indulge in Becky's request. However, she's not medically cleared to compete. Because Becky broke her face. So then she goes on to say, Lynch tells Trish that she should just send her little lapdog Zoe Stark into the ring because at the end of the day, she has some unfinished business with her as well. And Trish asks Becky if she is sure that she wants to be seeing Zoe dominate at Money. She wants Zoe because after what Zoe did at Money in the Bank, and Becky tells Trish that Zoe is better than her broke ass anyway, so yeah, let's do it. Trish says that she is no way better than her, but at the end of the day, she could be one day, but just not right now. Maybe one day Zoe might be better than her, but in the present day, nobody is better than Trish Stratus. Because she is the greatest of all time. Becky then said that she remembers that Trish couldn't beat her on her own. Zoe popped up, hit her with a Z360, and Trish won because of interference. It seems Trish isn't the greatest of all time, and she is. But if Zoe wants to get better, she will have to go through her because everyone knows that Trish won't be sticking around much longer. Trish is back to get some glory and rub from her, and she advises her little television show and leave. Just leave. Lynch then asked Zoe what will happen after that. Is Trish going to bring Zoe to Canada and answer phone calls for her yoga shop? She asked Trish why she is even back. Trish then said that she is back because she needed to, give a facelift to the women's division, the division that she built. Trish says that Becky hated when they would walk together backstage and everyone would say, "Thank you, Trish." She says that the irony isn't lost on her that Becky tried to break the face of Trish Stratus, but she broke the face of the women's division as a whole, and now Zoe will break Becky's face. Trish and Zoe then started walking to the ring, and then Trish all of a sudden stopped and remembered that she has a medical appointment to check up on her nose and that she has to leave the city. She tells Becky that she's going to leave the calendar open for Zoe Stark to face Becky Lynch next week on Monday Night Raw. Then Kevin Patrick all of a sudden came out of nowhere and said, "Who the hell books an appointment for the doctors at 9:30 at night?" And that is why I don't like Kevin Patrick on commentary, folks. That is why I don't like Kevin Patrick being on commentary. God, he's awful on commentary. I'm sorry. Listen, you guys can not like that all you want, but man, that was bad. This entire segment was terrible. Listen, at the end of the day, Becky, she's, you know what? For the longest time, and this is probably going to be news to basically anybody that's new here in the chat. Charlotte Flair was number 4 in the totem pole of the 4 horsewomen. I always had it go as Sasha, Bayley, Becky, Charlotte. Charlotte is slowly moving up to the number 3. And Becky is about to be in that number 4 spot. Truly. And you know, it wasn't always this way. It wasn't always this way when it comes to Becky Lynch and me, right? I've said this on numerous occasions. The Becky that really did it for me when it came to me just not really liking Becky Lynch all that much anymore was the Big Time Bex thing. The Big Time Bex completely ruined what I thought of Becky Lynch. And Becky Lynch fans know this. The Becky Lynch fans that I know personally on a, one-to-one basis, on a one-to-one level, know that I did not start, that I liked Becky up until the point of Big Time Bex. And ever since then, when she, was doing the whole "my precious" with the women's championship and, her Gollum voices and the crazy outfits and all this kind of stuff, that is when I started to getting sour towards Becky Lynch. And then she turned back into the man. But it's not the man that we all know and love, from the good old days when she was the man, Becky Lynch. It's kind of like an amalgamation of the two characters. You can still hear some of the Gollum-like Big Time Bex type of character. And you can see parts of the man, Becky Lynch. Becky now, I don't know what happened. She didn't used to be all that bad on the microphone. She really didn't. Or at least maybe I'm just blind. Maybe I'm just blind. Hold on one second. Okay. I'm getting my phone charger. Let me know, guys. Let me know in the chat. To the people that are here on the chat right now. Have I been blind to the fact that Becky was just always not that good on the mic? Or has it just kind of started happening? Since the Big Time Bex and this reiteration of the man and all that kind of stuff. When did she start being bad on the mic? Or was she always bad on the mic? Maybe I'm just oblivious. I mean, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just oblivious, but it really all started to me when Big Time Bex thing came around. But that's neither here or there at this point, because obviously we came and we saw and we just done all of that when it comes to Becky. But this was bad. And we're trying to get back into the swing of things. Hopefully, SummerSlam is it when it comes to these two. And that's it, and we can move on with our lives and get it done and over with, and we'll see. But we see a clip from earlier on tonight where Cody and Brock were just brawling. And Jackie Redmond is on the ramp to introduce Cody Rhodes, who comes out wearing a suit. And Jackie asks what the altercation was about between Brock Lesnar and Cody Rhodes from earlier on in the night. Cody says, well, tonight is, first of all, I had to say that, Jackie, this is your first night on Monday Night Raw, so can we get a hi, Jackie? And then the fans screamed, hi, Jackie. Cody says, listen, from what you are going to be knowing me as now that you're here on Monday Night Raw is that I'm a man of my word. He said that at Night of Champions, after Night of Champions, he would be waiting for Brock Lesnar, and he told Brock that they are not done just yet. He says that Lesnar broke his arm and he busted Lesnar's face. There is no way that they can continue to coexist on Monday Night Raw. He says that he wants another shot at Brock Lesnar, and he says that he will fight Lesnar any night, and he will fight him every night up until the point where he is just done with Brock Lesnar. Then Cody's music hit. The fans shake hands with Cody, and he heads back. He heads to the backstage area. That was it. Cody did the whoa, and he said, "I'll just fight Brock Lesnar anytime, any place." Okay, bye. That was it. What's the point of that? I mean, we know where it's going. We know that they're going to be fighting at SummerSlam. We know all of this is happening. But what was the point of that? Please. Can somebody... Am I wrong for asking something like that? Please, please tell me what happened. There's so much talking on this show. There's not much wrestling on this show. What's happening here? Come back from commercial break and we get the 6-person mixed tag team match between Alpha Academy and the Viking Raiders. Maxine Dupree and Valhalla are the women that are in this match, and I mean, this wasn't bad by any means, but it didn't really mean anything up until the point where Maxine and Valhalla got into the mix. So Maxine and Valhalla tag in, and I'm gonna go from there. So Maxine does a hip toss to Valhalla, does another one to Valhalla, and then she hit a suplex to her. Oh, well, and then Maxine hit a suplex to Valhalla. Valhalla falls to the mat after a corner splash from Maxine. She looks at Otis and she begins to do the caterpillar. Now, she does the caterpillar motion, and Valhalla hits her with a knee to the face. The Viking Raiders then beat up Otis on the outside of the ring, and then Gable does a beautiful moonsault to the outside of the ring, onto the Viking Raiders and Otis. Everybody caught him at that point in time. Inside the ring, we see Valhalla throwing Maxine into the corner. Valhalla then runs towards her, but Maxine jumps over her and does a roll up type of maneuver for the win, and Maxine pins Valhalla in her debut, and the Alpha Academy beat the Viking Raiders in 6-person mixed tag team action. Okay. I like Maxine Dupree. I like the Alpha Academy. What I don't like is the feud between the vicious Viking Raiders, the stinky Viking Raiders. I just simply don't care. Like it's nothing against any of these people. Okay, I liked the Viking Raiders back when they were in black and gold. I like Sarah Logan because we all know that that's Valhalla at this point. I like Maxine Dupree. I like Otis. I like Gable. I like everybody involved in this. But is this feud worth it? Is this feud meaningful? Is this feud something that I am going to be tuning into Monday Night Raw for? No. I'm sorry, but no. My Alpha Academy won. And that is what mattered. So, we come back from commercial break again. A lot of commercial breaks here in WWE. And we see clips of the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. We are going to be hearing from Ricochet next, because after that huge spot that he did with Logan Paul with the Spanish Fly through the table, and it looked bad, but it also, we're just going to be hearing from Ricochet next. Jackie is backstage with Ricochet, and he tells Jackie that a lot of people thought that Logan didn't even need to be a part of the match in the first place. He says that the kid can hang, and he respects that, but what he doesn't respect is Logan getting in his face after the match. The fact of the matter is that this wasn't Logan's night. So Ricochet challenged Logan Paul next week to a face-to-face confrontation on Raw. And we'll most likely get that. So there you go. So that's that. So we then have the Women's World Championship match between Rhea Ripley and Natalya. And let's just say this. Like I said earlier on in the show, this was way better than I thought it was going to be. Hold on one second. So, like I said, this was way better than what I thought it was going to be. I thought that she was going to get nattied again. I thought they were going to do at least a 3-minute match and then call it a day. But no, this was way longer and better than I expected. So, Natalya goes for a sharpshooter, but Ripley trips Natalya face first into the turnbuckle. Ripley then stomps on Natalya and she climbs to the top rope. Rhea then goes for a frog splash, but Natalya got the boot up. Rhea then runs towards Natalya and goes for a spear, but Natalya moves out of the way and Rhea hits her shoulder onto the ring post fucking hard as hell. Listen, Rhea, we love you, but damn, you do not need to hit your shoulder that hard on the ring apron, girl. You are going to fucking hurt yourself. But she goes shoulder first into the ring post. Natalya with a running power slam followed by a sharpshooter in the middle of the ring. Rhea then drags herself to the ropes and reaches for the bottom rope, and the referee has to break it up. So at that point in time, we saw, uh, you know, the breakup from the submission, and the referee broke it up, and Ripley rolls to the outside of the ring. Natalya then goes to the ropes and goes for a baseball slide, but Ripley moves out of the way. Hey, Maddie. And Ripley gets back into the ring. As Natalya is getting back into the ring as well, Rhea Ripley hits her with a kick right to the face and a headbutt. Fucking brutal. Then Rhea hit her riptide and she goes for the cover and picks up the win right there. And she retains the Women's World Championship. Like I said, this was by far the best match of the night tonight. By far. This match did not need to be as competitive as it was, but I'm glad that it was. Because regardless of however you feel about Natalya, whether you like her or whether you don't like her, she showed up tonight. Okay? And she was wrestling like she has something to prove tonight to the WWE fans. We all know that over the last few weeks, Natalya has been getting shit on for the majority of the time throughout this whole redemption story type of run for her against Rhea Ripley. Did anybody ask for a Natalya redemption story? No. I personally didn't ask for a Natalya redemption story, but I mean, what we got tonight was not bad by any means. I'm not the biggest Natalya fan, but I respect what she does for the business, and I respect what she has been doing for the business, and who she has helped along the way. Do I think she's really the most interesting character on WWE television right now? No. But she proved that she can still go out there and have a good to great match with anybody, with absolutely anybody. And like I said, she was wrestling like she has something to prove tonight, to not only to herself but to the fans. And this was easily the best match of the night tonight. Easily. So, great stuff there. Good stuff for Natalya. Great stuff for Rhea. She retains. But now I ask, and I want to ask you guys this seriously here. Where do we go next? Where do we go next when it comes to the Women's World Champion Rhea Ripley? Because at this point in time, we saw Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan come out to the aid of Natalya because Ripley was going to attack Natalya again after the match. Where do we go from here? Because right now, Raquel looks like she's getting back into the thing with Rhea Ripley, but Raquel is also the women's tag team champion. Does she want both the women's tag team title and the women's world championship? Is she going to drop the act of Liv Morgan to just go after Rhea? Because they just won the tag team title, so you can't just drop Liv like a sack of potatoes and just say, you know what, fuck it, I'm leaving you, goodbye. Where do we go next with Rhea Ripley? We need to find some more credible opponents for Rhea Ripley. Because at this point in time, we don't have many. I'm personally thinking we're saving Rhea and Raquel for WrestleMania. I personally have Raquel Rodriguez winning the Rumble this year, or this coming year in January. And we see Raquel and Rhea at WrestleMania for the Women's World Championship. That's what I see. That's how I see it going down. Now, what do we do for her at SummerSlam? I was thinking Becky Lynch, but Becky still has her thing going on with Trish Stratus, and um, And Maddie, I know you just came back, but I did talk about that god awful promo that Becky and Trish had. Um, so if you want to go back and check that out, at any point, go on ahead because I thought that was probably one of the best segments that I did for the show tonight. But regardless, I have to say this. Um, I don't know what they're going to be doing with Rhea Ripley heading into SummerSlam. I really don't because, basically anybody that's credible is being used up right now. So it's just is what it is at WrestleMania. And Ken says, I think it's going to be Liv winning the Rumble and her getting Rhea at WrestleMania. It could happen, but I think it's probably Raquel because they're really teasing this Raquel and Rhea stuff going on right now. So I personally think it's Raquel. You think it's Liv? It's one of the women's tag team one of the women's tag team champions I think is going to be happening at WrestleMania against the women's world champion right now, who is Rhea Ripley. So we'll see what happens, but I personally think it's going to be Raquel. So Rhea Ripley is backstage after another commercial break. Again, tons of commercial breaks in this. Io Sky is holding up the Money in the Bank briefcase saying, listen, watch your back. Rhea tells her Io to try her because that would be the biggest mistake of her life. In comes Dominik Mysterio and Damian Priest, and Rhea says that if Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez get into her business once again, they will regret it. Dominik then said that Seth Rollins will regret ever getting into the ring with him because his name is Dirty Dom. Okay, Dom. We then had Matt Riddle take on Giovanni Vinci. And this was short. Fucking real short. Honestly, this was a squash. For what reason, I don't know, but this was a squash. Who did Giovanni Vinci piss off backstage? Who did Imperium piss off backstage? Who did Giovanni Vinci and Ludwig Kaiser piss off backstage? Because they weren't always like this. They weren't always just losing left, right, and center and, just being squashed and all that kind of... Nothing like this ever used to happen to Imperium. Ever. But the bell rung, and we are underway. Both men exchange some right hands, and Vinci does a springboard crossbody off the second rope. Vinci then attacks Riddle's left foot, which is still bandaged, and he follows that up with a moonsault off the second rope. He goes for the cover, but Riddle kicks out at the count of 2. Vinci then goes for the ankle lock, but Riddle reverses it into a cover. 1, 2, 3, done. Riddle did nothing in this match. He just reversed an ankle lock into a pin, and that was it. Giovanni Vinci was kicking Riddle's ass. After that, Ludwig Kaiser then goes into the ring, attacks Riddle, and Drew McIntyre's music hits. Kaiser runs out of the ring. So does Giovanni Vinci. And Drew McIntyre hits Giovanni with a big boot. They all get out of the way. Drew McIntyre with a Glasgow kiss to Vinci. And Riddle with a knee to the face of Vinci. Drew then stares down Gunther, who is standing right outside the ring. And Drew hits a claymore on Vinci. Gunther then gets into the ring. Onto the ring apron, I should say. As he and Drew meet face to face. And yeah, I mean, we're getting Drew McIntyre versus Gunther at SummerSlam. That makes the most sense, and I think that's honestly what they're going to go for here. Is Drew McIntyre going to be the one to dethrone Gunther at SummerSlam? Who knows? If he does, that'll be the third longest reign in Intercontinental Championships history. I personally thought he was going to break the honky tonks. Oh, okay, we're back. But if they are doing this, and if they are going to give Gunther a loss here at SummerSlam to Drew McIntyre, I'm not going to be mad at it. It's just, I thought they were going to have him break Honky Tonk's record at 454. We will see. So we come back from yet again another commercial break. And Matt Riddle is thanking Drew for having his back out there tonight. In comes Byron Saxton, and Drew tells him that Drew McIntyre is back. Riddle says that now that Drew is back, they should team up to go up against Imperium next week. Drew jokes and says that he can hear the people saying that he needs to take his shirt off. But he says, listen, that's next week. Let's go out and have some fun tonight. Let's go drink a few pints. Riddle agrees, and both of them go off to celebrate as they go to Jimmy's. So, cool. Then we had the main event. And this is the final thing before we get to freak out of here. Because, man, I'm tired. But Dominik Mysterio with Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley took on Seth freaking Rollins. And this match is good. But this ended in DQ because of what happened at the end of the show tonight. Dominik gets to his feet and Seth with a kick and a clothesline, knocking Dominik down. Dominik in the corner and a running elbow by Seth Rollins onto Dominik. He lands 3 elbows and follows it up with a backbreaker. Seth then goes to the ropes and he kicks him in the face. Seth then kicks Dominik and goes for the pedigree, but Damian Priest comes out of nowhere. He gets on the ring apron and knocks him down. Seth knocks him down. Dominik then gets up and Seth clotheslines him to the outside of the ring. Seth does a suicide dive onto Dominik and Damian, and Seth throws Dominik back into the ring. Seth then with a rolling elbow, followed by a forearm to the back of Dominik's neck. Seth goes for the stomp, but Priest comes out of nowhere and hits him with a South of Heaven chokeslam to cause a disqualification. This is where things went crazy, because they teased that Priest could be, cashing in the Money in the Bank briefcase tonight on Monday Night Raw, and they really teased it to the point where I was like, holy shit, this might actually happen tonight. We might actually get a cash in tonight, and Damian Priest might actually become world champion, but that didn't happen. Priest with right hands, he throws Seth Rollins to the outside of the ring. He throws Seth into the announce table, and he puts Seth into the barricade. He lifts Seth up and slams him face first onto the announce table, and the ribs are obviously still impacted by this attack. Priest then clears off the announce table, and he goes for the Razor's Edge, but Seth lands on his feet. He goes for a super kick, hits it, and Dominik hits Seth from behind with the Money in the Bank briefcase. He gets him back into the ring and hands it to Dominik, saying, Damian, you got this. He's down and out in the middle of the ring. I just took care of him. Cash in. Cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase. The fans are chanting, Dom, you suck. And he tells Priest to cash in. Priest looks around and gets onto the ring apron. Looks like he is really about to cash in the briefcase at this time. Seth then stands up, and Finn all of a sudden attacks Seth from behind, but Seth inadvertently hit Damian Priest off the ring apron. So Finn gets onto the ring apron, and he is about to hit a coup de grace, but Priest is arguing with Finn Balor. Dominik tries to say, hey, listen, boys, stop it right now. Listen, we all have him down. Let's just all beat him down together. That way Damian can cash in and take the title. He's trying to play peacemaker here, but Seth Rollins rolls out of the ring, and he is sneaking away while the Judgment Day are just arguing with each other. Dominik then tries to go for Seth one more time so that he can try to, be the saving grace for the Judgment Day, but he got hit with the pedigree by Seth Rollins on the outside, and Rhea Ripley runs down to see if Dominik's okay, and Damian and Finn are arguing on the outside of the ring while Rhea tries to break them up. Seth Rollins' music hits, the fans are singing his song at the end of the show, and Seth is mouthing off to the Judgment Day as the show fades to black and goes off the air. That entire ending portion of the show, with Finn Balor coming back and Damian Priest being mad at Finn for, because he legitimately had the chance to cash in and become World Heavyweight Champion tonight, but it couldn't happen because of Finn's, not insecurities, but, Finn's, just the power heavy Finn Balor wanting to do things for himself and not for the good of the team and not for the good of the group. It was so good. So good. And honestly, at the end of the day, I think that's really what's going to be the best part of this breakup between the Judgment Day members of Damian Priest and Finn Balor. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. And I can't wait to see what they got going on next, over the next couple of weeks when we get to SummerSlam, because I personally think it's going to be Dominik and Seth for the World Heavyweight Championship at SummerSlam. I do. And I think everybody's going to be involved in that. Damian Priest is going to be at ringside with Dominik. Everybody from the Judgment Day is going to be with Dominik in that match. It's going to be the Judgment Day versus Seth Rollins at SummerSlam for the World Heavyweight Championship. And, Seth is going to have a hard hill to climb. He is going to ultimately retain against Dominik, because who the fuck thinks Dominik Mysterio is going to take the title off of... do we really think Dominik Mysterio is going to take the title off of Seth Rollins? No. But that's not really what the whole point is here. I think what the whole angle is going to be is Dominik getting the World Heavyweight Championship opportunity. And we see, Finn and Damian just being at odds on the outside. It's going to cost Dom the match. And that is when we see Finn you say, you know what? Screw it. Screw you, dude. You're obviously not a part of the group anymore. You're not a part of this team. You don't have the best interests of the group at heart. You're out of the Judgment Day. And somebody new of the Judgment Day attacks Damian Priest from behind, and that is going to be JD McDonough. And JD McDonough is going to join the Judgment Day at SummerSlam, and Damian Priest will no longer be a part of the group. The new group will be Finn, JD, Dom, and Rhea. That's what I think. Now, a lot of people think that Finn Balor is probably going to be the one to get kicked out of the group. I don't want that, because Finn Balor does not need to be out of Judgment Day. That's not the whole thing here. Damian Priest is the one that should be getting kicked out of Judgment Day. And if anything, it's not really a kick out. It's him getting finally the right singles push that he deserves. And especially with him being Mr. Money in the Bank, it makes the most sense for him to be the one to get kicked out of the group. But I thought, Were there some shining moments of this show tonight? For sure. But I'm tired. I'm tired of all the wrestling that is in these weeks, man. We had Forbidden Door last weekend, I should say. Then Money in the Bank this past weekend. Not to mention all the weekly shows that we go through each and every single time. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Sometimes Thursdays if you guys watch Impact Wrestling. Tuesdays if you watch NXT. There's a wrestling show on every single day of the week. And Saturday if you watch Collision. There's so much. There's a wrestling show every day of the week. And I try to watch everything as much as I can when I can. But, man, I'm tired. But that's the life of a podcaster, man. When you do these Raw post shows, SmackDown post shows, AEW Dynamite post shows, AEW Collision post shows, that's what happens in the life of a podcaster, man. And that's what I signed up for when I did this. And I love doing it. I love doing it for you guys. But man, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's definitely hard, but I understand what I signed up for, and I love doing it for you guys. So I hope you guys love that. I love doing this for you guys, and I hope you guys, just come back because you guys appreciate my opinions. You guys appreciate OTB's opinions when it comes to the product. Because, like I said, if it wasn't for any of you guys here, like LeBron, Lexi, aka Maddie, Ken 2 times, TJ, I saw him in here earlier on, Deontay, I saw Fun for Life in here. If it wasn't for any of you guys, we wouldn't be here. OTB wouldn't be here. If it wasn't for Relic, we wouldn't be here. You guys wouldn't see this, background that you see here. You guys wouldn't be seeing the beginning video that you saw at the beginning of every show. You guys wouldn't be seeing any of this. I don't even think OTB would exist if it wasn't for TikTok and the friendships that I made over there. So, again, I appreciate and love every single one of you guys. You guys have no idea how much this show means to me. This is my outlet. This is my fucking outlet here. And this is what I put all my energy and heart and soul into. This is the reason why I'm existing right now. Honestly. And I know that might sound like, whoa, that's real, that's huge, and that's big. But I don't bullshit on here. I don't bullshit. I don't sugarcoat. I keep it real with you guys. I keep it 100. I don't know how to go 90. I don't know how to go 80. I only know how to go 100. And this is my 100% right here for you guys. So again, I love you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you guys for all the love and support. Hit the like button. Turn on the bell for all notifications as you hit that subscribe button. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Thank you guys for all the love when it comes to the merchandise. Merch links are down in the description below. Go get some from www.shop.com using the affiliate link. Treat yourself to something nice on us. And use the code OTB at checkout for $20 off your first purchase using SeatGeek, who's the official sponsor of tonight's episode and every episode of OTB. Love you guys. We appreciate you. Stay tuned. Have a good rest of the night. Stay safe. God bless. And we'll see you on Wednesday for the Dynamite Post Show right here on OTB. I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good rest of the night. Stay safe. God bless. Peace.